Good morning, everyone. This is Dust for Dusted on Gaming here on Twitch and replay on YouTube. Playing some Izzet Drakes, or no, Izzet Phoenix here in Modern. So this is kind of a take on the Izzet Drake deck that is so popular in Standard. This is kind of also amalgamation of Thing in the Ice, plus, what the name is that card? The Just Guy, Thing in the Ice, oh crap. Plus, card that basically gives every card a copy itself. Darn if I can remember the name of it. Anywho, basically this is what they call a Z-Rocks deck. You have a bunch of cantrips, you're trying to get to your Thing in the Ices, your Arclight Phoenixes, and your copies of Bedlam Reveler. Those are your primary win cons. Your Thing in the Ices can flip after 4 spells. Arclight Phoenixes can come back from the graveyard if you cast 3 or more spells before your combat step. Obviously, Bedlam Reveler is a good way to refill your hand after cantripping through your deck, and then ending up with a bunch of lands in your hand. So, basically the deck has Serum Vision, Sleight of Hand, Thought Scour, Faithless Looting, Manamorphose, Izzet Charm, Chart of Course. This deck has a lot of cantrips. You see a lot of your deck. Lightning Bolt helps you dome your opponent's face. Also deals with creatures. Lightning Axe specifically for creatures. Allows you to have another discard outlet for Arclight Phoenix. Thing in the Ice, probably your fastest way to kill your opponent. It's a 7/8 that comes down, starts swinging, clears the opponent's board. Arclight Phoenix obviously can fly over and has the advantage of being a free spell, which is usually found a way to be broken in Modern. And then Bedlam Reveler, obviously this plays a lot of play in Mardu Pyromancer. Very good card overall. Something you have to be mindful of in the post-board games is your opponent can be attacking your graveyard a little bit with Arclight Phoenix and Bedlam Reveler. So it's a good idea to kind of have a sidestep plan. This particular list went 7 and 2 in the Modern PTQ. Opts for Young Pyromancer, which I think is a good choice. With all your various cantrips and stuff, this Pyromancer can get out of hand pretty quickly. A couple dispels on the sideboard for trying to negate your opponent's removal spells / counter things like Burn and Control. Anger of the Gods seems a little bit counterintuitive with your Arclight Phoenix plan, but against decks like Dredge and smaller creature decks, sometimes the risk might be worth it. Alpine Moon, generally here for Tron, Manlands, and Valakut. A couple copies of Abrade when you need artifact removal for things like Grafdigger's Cage, etc. Also comes in a pinch when you need more removal spells. And obviously this person didn't like losing to Burn because they have 3 Dragon's Claw on their sideboard. So, obviously, it can also come in against various aggro decks, but I'm presuming this is pretty much just for Burn. And maybe Gobos. So, let's get into playing some matches. I'm going to try this deck out in the practice queues since I've never really played this particular list. So, I have some learning to do alongside the rest of you. Why can I not remember the name of the card that, in the Storm decks that this is played alongside in the, pretty sure this is a keep. Do I shock into cantrip here? I think so. I think we're going to keep both of those there. Definitely want the Thing in the Ice next turn. Start, something to work towards here. Some type of aggro deck. Might be mono green aggro, possibly. realize we put an Arclight in the graveyard. That's kind of scary. Alright. Opponent just concedes the match, sure. Seems like this deck can be pretty sweet. This is pretty obviously a mulligan. This one's an interesting hand. Just fetched away our card we scryed to the top. Ah, Tron. Should be much more interesting. Unfortunately, we're probably a couple turns from returning those to our hand. Chalice on one. Yep. It's going to make it a little more difficult here. Hopefully we find another one-mana spell here. Unfortunately, because I played out my plan preemptively here, we don't have enough spells to get those Arclights back. Scour. Yep. Want to go after the Meta Reshaper here, or do we go after their face? I guess we try to race and go after their face. Obviously this is going to get countered, but this at least lets us get the Arclights back. Which I should have done last turn if I had sequenced things correctly. So our opponent should be... have Dismember? Ah, Spatial Contortion. Yeah, we're not being a Reality Smasher this game. Alright, on to sideboarding. This is probably an Alpine Moon matchup. Definitely an Abrade matchup. Bolt's not quite as good in this matchup. Then is it just cut all the bolts? Cut that, and maybe a couple sleight of hands. Bring in the Alpine Moon for Eldrazi Temple more often than actual Tron lands, and a Braid to be able to answer their stupid chalices, which kind of hinder our ability to really see our deck. We're just going to plan on opting. I don't really want a Faithless Loot yet. There's nothing other than one copy of Faithless Looting we really want to get rid of. Because we really want the land, we really want more spells. So I think we'll keep an Alpine Moon there. Yes, that's unfortunate. Pine Moon, Drowsy Temple. This deck definitely sees a lot of cards, but without finding one of your threats, it's just kind of like spinning its tires. Gonna get Matter Shaper here? No, I guess they were counting on an early Thought Knot. So I could dig here. Definitely want to hold up Lightning Axe in case they have Thought Knot this turn. So, Chart of Course. We just ditch Alpine Moon and then hold up Lightning Axe here. We don't have an Arc Light. We don't have an Arc Light in our graveyard yet. And we bend one thing in the ice, so. I feel like this is a Thought Knot Seer turn. Of course we'd draw the Arclight Phoenix now. Alright, so pitch the lands. How do we want to do this? So I didn't play the land, I can't pitch Fiery Temper to any value. Is it still Fiery Temper here? It still might be Fire Temper. Unfortunately, we can't play out this, our attack here, we're just dead, so... was a mistake. Now we're just dead on board. Yep, should have left that back. That way if we flipped another thing in the ice, we could have killed them. Alright, that was a mistake. Couple mistakes in learning that matchup. Sequencing, obviously very important with this deck. Just want to thank everyone for tuning in this morning. Hope everyone's having a great morning. Learning this deck along with me. Never played this one. I've played quite a few decks in Modern, but this is definitely not... I mean, it's a newer deck, obviously, but not one I've played yet, so... Lots of cantrips, but no blue source, so... Hand's a little bit better. Guess Manamorphose is just a free spell here. Bedlam Reveler. Definitely glad we kept the bolt. Thalia is going to make this a little bit harder. Do this because we want to draw the Bedlam Reveler. Yeah, I'm aware of what we're up against. I just hadn't seen Figure of Destiny out of them yet. It's going to make flashing back spells extremely obnoxious too. But thanks for the point out, XRO. Yeah, it might be an older list, but the more aggressive bent plus the random copy of Ash Zealot may actually get us a little bit. Question is, do we want to risk Lightning Bolt here? I think we just take the damage here. Sure. Can we just quad spell them this turn? I think we can... Well, the red might be the holdup, actually. Yeah, I shouldn't have played that island in case we drew another red source. We'll get lucky and find an arc light off this. No, we did find another red source, which is kind of awkward though. Should have thought Scour there before combat, see if we could find another arc light. It's a lot of damage. Definitely a far more aggressive list than any red-white taxes list I've ever played against. And the Figure of Destiny on defense. Awkward. So we have no way of getting that Fiery Temper back this turn. So I think we'll just top it. Might be Boros aggro, it's really kind of hard to tell. So I hate going to 4 here. Guess I'm ditching a bolt, but this does give us... I guess if they have bolt, we were dead either way, so maybe that was just foolishness. Nice top deck. I guess that might not have been a top deck. But yeah, they're definitely some style of Boros aggro deck. Huh. Alright, so we're definitely interested in the Anger of the Gods. Question is, do I want a Braids? I don't think so. is, do I cut? Maybe one... Feels a little weird, but maybe we cut one Arc-like Phoenix with that many Angers coming into our deck, and then other things here. Not much, War Dog. How are you doing? Guess we keep because we have a Bolt, but we really don't have any of our setup cards right now. Thing in the Ice, definitely a card we're interested in here. Yeah, Orc's never fun. Hey, thanks for the follow. Stormkirk Noble. Yeah, work is never fun. Yep, some type of budget Boros aggro deck. Let's see, Izzet Charm on top. Alright. Hold up Izzet Charm to ditch Phoenix next turn. Hold up Bolt for now. Thalia is obnoxious, but whatever. Just Bolt her at end of turn. It's unfortunate, but as much as I like Arclight, Thalia is just too annoying for us. Is that the red-black burn deck? Yeah, definitely give it a try here sometime. Yeah, unfortunately that'll have to be on good old Magic Online, not on Arena. I definitely prefer playing Standard on Arena when possible. I still don't think, like, Pyromancer's tempting. Is Pyromancer better than Arc-like in a match like this? maybe? I don't know. I think we just leave it as is and rely on kind of our main deck config. Things with decks like this is you can't really like change too much stuff around with the engine cards. So how's everyone doing this morning? Now the notification finally came through XRO. Sorry, I wasn't sure who had gotten the actual follow there. Alright. So, straight up Boros aggro. I mean, yeah, hopefully they don't have a path here. Path or Thalia would both be obnoxious. Keep a backup thing in the ice in case they have a path. Yep. It's a lot of knights. Shock this in. Of course they have a bolt. Yeah, I was just supposed to say no blocks there. Four, five, six, seven. Yeah, no blocks. Should have pitched an Arclight there. Now if they have Bolt, we're just dead. Or Helix. Yep, should have played around that. Always play around cards if you have the chance. Get to see a lot of cards, but right now we don't have a threat. Alright. Let's pass with the intention of bolting the Swift Spear here. Don't even tell me they have double bolt. Let's just go to the next game. Well played, opponent. Well played. Wow. Okay. Trash shocking from our opponent. Hope everybody else is having a good morning. Gotta love people being obnoxious and a-hole-ish. Does wonders for the Magic community, doesn't it? It's like we're all here to learn our decks, and then you're like, this is the particular list is by Hey QT on Magic PTQ. I think this hand's a keep. Use Serum Visions to try to dig for another land. So, I'm not sure if that particular user is a pro or not. Bottom the temper, top the land. So next turn we at least get to, most likely get to triple spell as long as we don't get LD'd here. Yep, doesn't look like Ponza, but our whatchamacallit might die here. Ah, Devoted Druid combo. I think we still kill the Devoted Druid even though we're flipping thing this turn. Okay. This deck goes off. It's kind of like the Drake's deck in Standard. It's kind of freaking insane. I think we want the Abrades. Just want every removal spell our deck can possibly hammer out. Cut an Arclight. Cut a Temper since it's not the easiest card to always turn on here. You slice and opt. And then Lightning Axe, try it like that. This list is pretty sweet. It does take a lot of paying attention to your sequencing and such. So, interesting list. Very, very interesting list. Yeah. Got a bolt, got a thing in the ice. Land and Anger of the Gods. Sign me up for both of those. Actually, we don't want a Thought Scour here. Probably have to take Anger of the Gods, given the nature of their deck. Take Fiery Temper. Sure. People are weird sometimes. Discard the card that'll allow me to bolt your face. That seems good. So Bedlam Reveler will come down for red. Guess we get greedy and play Slay here, trying to hit a land. Huh. Kitchen things. Sure. As much as I want to get aggressive here, I don't want to risk running headfirst into a collected company in terms of like our opponent just devoted druid comboing us. Especially since with Eiley, I'm beginning to wonder if they have some style of opponent's gonna get to gain life regardless, so other things. Alright, finally sequence things correctly and long enough to win a match. Play one more match with this deck. How's everyone doing this morning? Hope you're enjoying the content. Playing a little bit of a unique deck before I get into more RPTQ testing this morning. It's a deck that kind of caught my eye. I wanted to try a little bit. It's a little bit like the standard Izzet Drake's deck. This deck's a little bit more they go to the graveyard, so they would be exiled by like Rest in Peace. That's why if you look in the sideboard, there's the Young Pyromancers, so you have ways to kind of sidestep graveyard hate a little bit. Still can't remember the name of the card. This deck is somewhat similar in execution to the Pyromancer's Ascension thing in the Ice deck, in terms of what it's trying to execute. Only it replaces the emphasis on Pyromancer's Ascension with Arc-like Phoenix instead, and has a little bit more in the way of discarding cantrips. So that was the name of the deck. The card that I couldn't think of like the entire stream is Pyromancer's Ascension. So think this is a pretty easy mulligan. This hand's a little bit better. Don't think we want a Bedlam Reveler this early on. Venture's Impulse. We up against Titans. Finds no cards. That's awkward. Feels like we're up against Amulet Titan. Just from this particular opening. Alright, War Dog, have a good day, man. Yep, definitely Amulet Titan. Suppose we could have countered that there. Definitely should have thought scoured ourselves. Okay. Wasn't much of a match, so I think we'll try one more this morning. Amulet Titan players trying to learn their deck. Been through that process. It's a rough deck to learn the mechanics of. So, what is everyone here playing Modern usually? So my thoughts on this deck so far, obviously sequencing is very important. The hands where you start out with, like, a Thing in the Ice seem to be the better hands with this deck. You know, the Thing in the Ice, and the fact that you can, like, trigger Thing in the Ice before combat to not bounce your own Phoenixes is nice. There's a lot of little, like, subtleties with these lists. think this hand's a keep, but it is a little rough. Could be wrong to take the land there, but I think we really just want the cantrip spell. Arclight. Dredge. Does bounce our Phoenix, which sucks, but... Alright, so... Hollowvine. Definitely want the Angers. Probably want the Abrades. Question is, do we want to try a sidestep Graveyard Hate here? like this. Well, that's certainly a hand. Turn 1, 8 power, sure. Alrighty then. Their deck's just chock full of all kinds of fun graveyard stuff. Sure. Wow. Alright, so quick thoughts on this deck. I think overall this deck is pretty sweet. Obviously it's a little bit complicated in terms of you need to sequence your cantrips and stuff correctly, getting stuff in your graveyards correctly. I honestly don't know what the right sideboard configuration for this deck is, but it definitely feels like you want like enough young pyromancers to be able to sidestep other graveyard hates and be able to go wide against certain decks, to be able to pair with your things in the ice and such to buy time, also to kind of pressure your opponent. So I'm not sure like how many young pyromancers you want in the sideboard. Rest of the sideboard felt okay. Dragon's Claw might be a little narrow unless you're expecting a lot of burn. Beyond that, I mean, I'd have to look over like some of the other styles of list that's going on here. But yeah, this deck is pretty sweet. Definitely takes some more getting used to. Something I'll have to work on in the future. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and turn these cards into Mana Traders and switch over to practicing some with Grixis Death Shadow for an RPTQ here in December. That's one of 3 decks I'm considering. Between that, Just Got Control and Burn. So, if you want to stick around for that, that's great. If not, I want to thank you for tuning in. Please consider hitting that follow button. I stream every Monday and Friday morning, and then Wednesday evenings for sure, and then other times randomly throughout the week in the evenings. That's just a work schedule thing, so. But that's what's going on with this thing. If you want to check out a bunch of standard modern content, got a bunch of stuff over on our YouTube channel. Link is down below. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and switch over. So, it'll take a few minutes for while that's going on. But